I'd like to talk to you about four different types of questions that you might see in a supply and demand quiz. First would be movements along either the supply curve or the demand curve. Second would be times when the price is not equal to the equilibrium price. Either the price is too high, creating a surplus, or that is the price is above equilibrium, creating a surplus, or the price is below an equilibrium, creating a shortage. Third would be shifts in demand, which could be caused by things like changes in income, whether it's a normal or inferior good, or change in the price of a substitute, whether it's change in the price of a complement. Many different things would cause the demand curve to shift. Fourth, we'll talk about shifts in supply, such as change in costs of production, etc. So let's start out with movements along the supply curve or the demand curve. So here's a question. Specifically, we're looking in this case at quantity demanded, so we know that it's the demand curve. If it had said quantity supplied, we know we should be drawing the supply curve. And so let's start out with that curve. And so let's see if I can bring up my pen here. And I'm going to do it in blue. And so here's quantity. Here's price. Demand curve's downward sloping. Start out at an equilibrium, or not an equilibrium price, but an original quantity and an original price. We're going to have the price go up. And if the price goes up, normally people don't want to buy as much at higher prices. And if the price went down, people would want to buy more at lower prices. So looking at the question, when the price of a good increases, so price going up, price goes up, or rises, quantity is going to fall. So when the price of a good increases, the quantity demanded falls, so we know it's C or D. When the price of a good decreases, the quantity demanded should increase, which means we've got C. Now, if it had been a supply curve, we would have drawn it a upward sloping supply curve. And so if the price goes up, if we just showed, quantity demanded, I'm going to put a little d for quantity demanded, it's going to go down. On the other side, if the price goes up, the quantity supplied, sellers are willing to sell more. So the quantity supplied would have gone up. But in this case, all we had to worry about was the demand curve. Let's go to the next one. Shortages and surpluses. And shortages and surpluses, general theory or general idea here is, I'm going to do it in red. So let's draw our curve. Here's quantity. Here's price. Here's the supply curve. Here's our demand curve. Equilibrium price is going to be where the two curves cross. So if the price is above equilibrium, we have a surplus. Firms are willing to sell more than what people want to buy. If the price is below equilibrium, we have a shortage. People want to buy more than what's available. And so in this case, the price is above equilibrium. Let's use this color here. So the price is high up here. Take the price over the supply curve, down. Our quantity supply, put quantity demanded, didn't mean to do that. So our quantity supplied, and here's go price over to the demand curve, that's our quantity demanded, and there's a surplus. Oops, it looks like I have two B's right there. So it is definitely to be. Okay, bad pun, but it's answer B, it's a surplus. Let's go on to demand curves. So if a lot of things would shift the demand curve, as we mentioned, change in income, change in the price of a related good. In this case, we're looking at everyone believes the price of tomatoes will go up next week. What is likely to happen to the demand for tomatoes? Well, if buyers expect the price to go up, they want to buy it when it's still cheaper. So in this case, what we would expect to see would be something like this. Here's quantity, here's price, upward sloping supply curve, downward sloping demand curve, Start out, let's assume at an equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity. Let me change the color to red to show an increase in demand. So when the demand goes up, price goes up, quantity goes up. So let's look at it this way. Demand goes up, supply does not change. Price goes up, quantity goes up. Which answer best fits that? Let's check it out. Start out with A. Demand will decrease. Nope. B. Demand will increase because sellers, well, we're looking at buyers. So B's out. C. Demand will increase as people buy more tomatoes. Now, hoping to beat the price. Well, that's exactly what I said. That sounds great. C is our right answer. Both B and C. Well, now B is more about the supply side. And we just had what will happen to the demand for tomatoes today. So next one. Let's go on to shifts in supply. And let's draw it. So here's quantity. Here's price. Upward sloping supply. Downward sloping demand. Equilibrium price to start out with. Equilibrium quantity to start out with. In this case, imagine technological innovation reduces the cost of producing steel. Well, that's an increase in supply. So in that case, increase in supply shifts it to the right or downward, which should lower our prices and increases our quantity. So in other words, supply went up. Demand curve did not change. I'll put a bar above it to show it did not change. Price goes down. Quantity goes up. Which one's our right answer? Supply, so it's got to be A or B. Supply increases and supply shifts down and to the right. That sounds great. And we didn't have to tell us about price and quantity, but definitely price would have gone down, quantity would have gone up. Thank you.